Okay. Or Zaru'a la tzadik, Ur Yisrael simcha simcha na 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 yay. Or Zaru'a la tzadik, Ur Yisrael simcha simcha na 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 yay. Ay ay day day ay day 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 ya na 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 na. Ay ay day day ay day 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 day. Ay ay day day ay day 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 ya na 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 na. Ay ay day day ay day 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 day. Ay ay. Or Zaru'a la tzadik, Yisrael simcha, simcha, simcha. Or Zaru'a la tzadik, Yisrael simcha, simcha.
Welcome everyone to Shalvah this week, and here we are on the 7th day of Hanukah. We just lit the 7 candles last night, and tonight we're going to light 8 candles for the 8th night, Zot Hanukah. That's what the Torah says to us on the Torah reading for the 8th day, Zot Hanukah. This is Hanukah, or this is dedication. It's the full 8 lights shining. And so today we wanted to look at this line from Psalm 97. It's a really familiar line to us from the Friday night service, and we use it many different times of the year. That talks about light, and it's a little bit opaque what's going on with the light. So it says or, the word for light, but then it says Zaru'a, that light, this is interpreting this word as related to Zera, meaning seed, that the light is seeded, the light is planted for the righteous. And similarly, joy, we can infer, is planted for the upright of heart, Yishrei Lev, those whose hearts go in the right direction. And there's other ways to translate it. Some people translate that word as shining, light shines for the righteous, but we tend to go with the agricultural metaphor of light being planted, like it's hidden. The light is hidden deep under the earth. So what's the relationship we do that in Hanukkah, where we actually light these lights? And one of the things has to do with what the lighting of the lights represents, right? We're told in the story in the Talmud that that Hanukkah there's a miracle associated with Hanukkah, and it's not necessarily the miracle of a war being won. It's the miracle of the oil, the miracle of a small amount of oil being able to last for 8 nights. And what were they doing with the oil? We have the idea in our synagogues of a ner tamid, an eternal light, a light that's always kept burning. And certainly that's what I, as a kid, understood here, was that they lit the light, and they just lit this wick that was in oil, and it just kept burning and burning and burning for the 8 nights and 8 days, and that was the miracle. But that's not what they did with the lamps that were in the menorah in the temple or in the tabernacle in the wilderness in the Mishkan. They would light the light at dusk, and then it would burn all the way through the night, and then it would go out in the morning, and they would light again at dusk. So it was a counterbalance to what was happening in the world. In the world, right, during the day we have light, with the light of the sun. At night it's dark. And so to counterbalance that darkness, they would light the menorah. They would light the lights that would last all night long. So it was almost like a handoff between humanity and the divine. During the day, God provides the light. During the night, we provide the light. And So when we think about Hanukkah in the context of this verse from Psalm 97, where is the light planted? Right? Light is not a seed, it doesn't go under the earth, but it's hidden. Um, and sometimes it's obvious, of course, not always hidden. It's obvious during the day. But at night, the light is hidden. And in order for us to reveal the light, that's actually what it means to be a tzaddik, what it means to be a righteous person, or even to be someone who is upright of heart, is to bring this light that is hidden out into the world. We can't make the sun shine at night, but we can light lights. And those lights are, that's a symbol of this light that God put into the world, that capability within us to create light, even in the midst of darkness. So in some ways, the way, where was the light hidden? It was actually hidden in the heart. That the capability to create light, to look at a time of darkness, actually, and to be able to say, I'm going to push back against this darkness with my light. It's not, I don't have to succumb to the darkness. And I say, well, now is the dark time, and that's just the way it's going to be. I have to wait until the light comes again. No, what we're asked to do, just like the priests in the temple, is to light lights at the darkest time, to light lights when there is no light in the world, so that we can bring that light, the capability to create light out of our hearts and show it to the world. So tonight, when we light the candles or even oil lamps for the 8th night of Hanukah, we can think about how that is pulling this capability for creating light out of our hearts. That's the capability that God created inside of human beings, the ability to look at a situation and say, it doesn't have to be this way. I don't just have to acquiesce to the world as it is. I can do something about it to change it. And that's Jewish tradition believes that that's what we do. That's what the Maccabees did, and that's what we do in the world all the time. We don't simply say, well, the world as it is dark, and that's the will of God to make the world dark. We say the world as it is dark, and now I'm going to take the step of filling up the world with light, of pushing back the darkness with the light that I have the ability to create. And once I do that, then other people can see the light too, and that gives them more of a push. That opens up their hearts to bring their light out into the world and to have it shine for all of us.
So it may seem counterintuitive with what Rabbi Zeff was just talking about, but we're going to do a meditation today that where we're going to start in our bodies, and then we're going to check in with how we're feeling and what we're thinking. And the phrase that I'm going to invite you to use is, it's okay to feel this. There's a mindfulness teacher, Joseph Goldstein, who uses that phrase in his meditation practice, and I'm giving him credit because we're borrowing it today. But before we're able to make change for ourselves or for the world, there's a way that when we're reacting against a tension that we're feeling, we're just stuck in that reaction and that resistance. And until we can relax into that feeling, we can't really move forward. So sitting in discomfort and opening to it is a really important first step in moving to a more pleasant place, or a more joyful place, or a more hopeful place. So we're going to start, if you're comfortable, closing your eyes or resting them softly a few feet in front of you on the floor, taking a few nice deep breaths to ground yourself and bring yourself here. Enjoying that feeling of your Deep inhalation and exhalation. And then becoming aware of your hands resting on your lap, your feet on the floor, your seat on your chair, cushion, wherever you're sitting. Your belly breathing, expanding, releasing. Or maybe you feel it more in your ribs, expanding, releasing. And then bringing attention to the top of your head. Noticing what you're feeling. Is there any tension there? And if there is, just opening to that. What is that experience? And when you open to it, what happens to it? Just notice that. Bringing your attention, washing over your forehead, the bones around your eyes, the muscles around your eyes, your temples, your cheekbones, bridge of your nose, the muscles in your cheeks, the hinge of your jaw, muscles in your chin. Let your attention wash over the back of your head, all the way to the base of your skull, and holding awareness of your entire face and head, noticing any strong bodily sensations and opening to them. Noticing what happens when you open to them. And if any sensations are too strong and become too unpleasant, you can bring your attention to your breath. But if you're able to stay with the body, bringing your attention all the way down your throat, the back of your neck, all those muscles, opening to any sensation in the muscles on the tops of your shoulders, becoming aware of your bones and your posture, the shape of your body that it's occupying in space. Washing your attention over your upper arms, the whole circumference of your upper arms to your elbows. How do you feel those bones? How do you know how can you have awareness of those bones? The circumference of your lower arms, forearms, your wrists, the heels of your hands, your palms, all the way to your fingertips and the tops of your hands. Noticing if you're holding unnecessarily, and just noticing and opening to that. You don't have to try to change it, but notice what happens when you open to those feelings. And if you experience tension, you can offer yourself the phrase, "It's okay to feel this." And if you're able to notice moments when you are resisting discomfort, that's an amazing opportunity to practice mindfulness that can be applied all throughout our day. And if you do notice resisting discomfort, try opening to that too. And washing your awareness down over your torso, your upper back, lower back, your belly, opening to any sensations that are strong. Your seat, hamstrings, quadricep muscles, your knees, lower legs, ankles, feet, tops of your feet, heels, arches, balls of your feet, your toes. Noticing any strong sensations, opening to them. And using the phrase, "It's okay to feel this." And bringing awareness to anywhere I neglected to mention, like your hips, your tongue resting in your mouth, anywhere you noticed that I missed, bringing your awareness there. Casting your awareness over your whole body, sitting and breathing. Opening to any strong sensations. Really being curious about those sensations. What are you feeling? Is it warm or cold? Tight? What happens to that sensation as you become more and more curious and aware? Bringing awareness to your feeling state, your current mood. Thinking about where you are now as compared to where you were when we started. From this accepting and open and receptive place, we're capable of making change and approaching difficult things. This feeling of being open to discomfort and knowing that it's okay, that we are okay feeling this. We're not so brittle as not to be able to face things that are difficult or uncomfortable. Gives us the confidence to be bold and to create more light in the world. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and take a stretch or take a twist in your chair. And give thanks for your amazing body, all that it's capable of, and even with its limitations, all it can do for you. And then we'll sing a little bit. Or Zaru'a latzadik ul yishrelev simcha simcha na 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 yay. Or Zaru'a latzadik ul yishrelev simcha simcha na 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 yay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay 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 na 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 nay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay nay na na nay nay nay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay 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 na 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 nay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay nay na na nay nay nay. Ay ay. Or Zaru'a latzadik ולيשלב שמחה, 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 אור זרוע לצדיק, ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, אור זרוע לצדיק, לצדיק, ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, נננאי, אור זרוע לצדיק, לצדיק, ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, נננאי, איי, 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 ניי, ניי, איי, ניי, 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 נננאי, איי, איי, ניי, ניי, איי, ניי, ניי, נננאי, ניי, ניי. Ay ay nay nay ay nay 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 na 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 nay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay nay na na nay nay nay. Ay ay. Or Zaru'a latzadik ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, שמחה. Or Zaru'a לצדיק ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה. Or Zaru'a לצדיק, לצדיק, ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, נננאי. Or Zaru'a לצדיק, לצדיק, ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, נננאי. ay ay nay nay ay nay 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 nananay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay nay nananay nay nay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay 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 nananay. Ay ay nay nay ay nay nay nananay nay nay. Ay ay. Or Zaru'a latzadik ולيשלב שמחה, שמחה, שמחה. or Zaru'a l'tzadik, u'yishrelev simcha, simcha.
Thank you all for joining us this week, and hope that as we celebrate this last night and last day of Hanukah, we can think about both the light and also the darkness that comes to fill. We need to, as Nina taught us, need to acknowledge the darkness, and that gives us maybe the strength and the impetus to fill it with our light. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.